In this section, we will be diving deep into state management. And in this video, firstly, we'll be talking about why do we need state management. Now, if you come to our feed screen where we have this feeds product, in the screens, and here the feed screen, you see we have a list here that has array of products which we are using for the feed screen. And even if we want to use it somewhere else, for example, when we click into something, and in the last video what we did is for the suggested products we have commented it out because we had to pass the properties of each product, and it was a big hassle because our list is here and then we have to pass it somewhere else and then get it from there and then show it on the UI. A lot of things to do. Now, a simple way to get around this is by using state management. Now, what is state management? Before I describe so, firstly, we have already used state management for our theme. We have defined what a light theme should look like and what a dark theme should look like. And then we have wrapped it with our change notifier so that the entire theme is a global management for the entire app. So if we change the theme is changed globally for the entire scope of the app. Now we want to do the same with the products. So if I make another class with products that changes with a change notifier, and we can hook it up with any server, anything, and we can then provide that product class wherever we need instead of using a big list each and everywhere. And that would be a very nice solution to do because we can just change things in one place and it will change things everywhere. Now in the next video we will get started with change notifier. Now let us get started with the provider for products. Firstly, what I'd like to do is change this provider folder name to be models and providers because I want to bring the models and providers together. So models and providers, and I'll bring this product data into my models and providers. Get rid of this model folder, don't need it anymore. Now what's wrong here? Let us get the new path because in main.dart we have an error because since we have changed the directory, that is. And get rid of this. Now inside our product.dart, here after we have this class, we need this class because our provider is going to be dependent on this class. Let's make a new class. So class product provider with change notifier. First of all, in this class I'll be having our product list. So inside our feed screen, this list that we have, gonna cut it out, bring it here, and let us minimize it first of all. Great. Now after this list, I want a getter for this list because this list here is a private class, and if this is private we cannot access this variable from anywhere else in this project, right? So we need a getter. I'll make another list of products or product and name it products without the underscore, and this should return us the products. What's wrong? Yes. Now what we can do is first of all go to our main.dart where we have this multi-provider because the providers must be a top level widget that stays above our material dart, so material app, so that the entire provider could be provided throughout the entire app. So we already have a multi-provider here. Now we're going to use our second provider. So I'll just copy this line here, copy it, paste it here, and change this to be product provider. Yes. That is great. Now for our feed screen, where we want to use this provider, first of all, come to the widget tree and make a list here. Final product provider equals to provider dot of context, and this is of product provider context. So product provider context. Now we need another list, so list of product, name it products list equals to product provider dot products. Now I can use this products list and use it here where we was using our list before. So if I save it, what is this? We don't need this. Great. So now we already have the same app that we had before, but our product is being provided from a very different place. Now one more thing. If you come to our product detail here, if I come to product detail, you see we don't have the suggested product anymore. This is because in the last video we have commented it out and now we are going to be working on it. To do so, let us go to our product detail screen, but before we do so, also copy this because we'll be using the provider there as well to pass the products. So copy this much and come to our product detail screen, and under the build method, before we return the scaffold, let us paste it. Now we can come down where we have our commented section down here, and let us uncomment it first. Now we need to pass the required parameters for feeds product. Now feeds product here and feeds product here are exactly the same, so both of them are requiring the exact same amount of argument. So we can just copy this much as well. So copy it, come back here and paste it. Now if we save it, we have our feeds product here, but the problem is each of them are taking a humongous amount of space. To tackle this, let us wrap this in a size box. So make sure that your feeds product is inside a sized box. So wrap it with a size box and give this sized box a width of 200. Save it. Much better. Now what you see here for the feeds product that we have, so in our product details screen we have this feeds product, and this is known as dependency injection, and we are doing the same for the feed screen here. Now there is a very nice way to get around this, is by using our change notifier even more. We can get rid of this, delete it, come to our feed product here, get rid of the things that it is asking for, get rid of this, and here also get rid of this. So we basically got rid of everything that each of the widget is asking for, so all its attributes. Now what we can do is firstly come to our product.dart, and for the main class of our product we can wrap it with, we can mix it with another change notifier. After that, let us come to our product screen, and here what I'd like to do is wrap this feeds product with a center and change the center to be change notifier.value, and its value should be our product list. So product list at index. With that, let us save it. And for the feeds product, we will come to our build method and make a final product attribute variable and make it equals to provider dot of product context, so our product class context. Now we can just copy this product attribute, copy it, and go everywhere where we need it. So instead of widget, let us make it product.image URL, product attribute.description. We have it here and here. So with that, we are okay for this file. Now we can also copy this much because we have the same exact products feed. Copy right over here. And we do not need anything here because we are actually bringing this feeds product directly from here. So with that, if we save it, go back to our feeds, and we have everything here, as you can see. Even if we go inside one of this, alright, so we have some problem. Now to get around this, also wrap this with a center and change the center to be change notifier dot value. Change notifier provider dot value, and the value should be our product attribute. Do we not have an attribute here? Need this product list. So we come here, product list at I. So save it, and we still have it. Alright, that is great. Now let us talk about how we can pass what we want to select from the categories and how we can see it in the feed screen. Now there are many ways you can go about it. Firstly, we can pass the entire product to the feed screen and then we can filter it there. Now the drawback of this approach would be when you would be interacting with a server, you do not want to fetch all the data you have for one single item. So for example, I want just all the phones, iPhone, Samsung, Huawei, whatever. I do not want to fetch the Dell laptops, the Asus laptops. I do not want to fetch the clothes and so on. So this approach has its own big flaw. The approach that I want to take is, if you come to category, you see all our items has its own cat name. So phones has this cat name of phones in common. So I can just filter through this cat name or the category name and only show the items that are appropriate for it. Now, if you come to category.dart, you see we are already accessing an integer here, which we are using in the home screen inside the list view builder. If I come down, here we have a row, and this is inside a list view builder, which is giving us access to the integer. And then this is the integer that we are passing to the category. Now, to set up a bare bones structure, first of all, let us change it to a stateful widget. Save it. Alright, now inside the category, let us wrap this container in a inkwell. So first I'll wrap it in a center and then change the center to be inkwell. Now inkwell has an onTap argument where we can do something with the tap. Now first of all, let's see what we can do with the print. So let us bring this print function, and inside of this, let's bring a $sign because we have to convert everything to the string. So firstly, let us wrap it with a $sign, and then let us go inside our categories list where we can access our index, which we are getting from the item builder. And here we can access our cat name. So the cat name that we want. Now what is wrong here? Alright. So now with that, if I'd like to save it though, but what's wrong? We need to access the I by writing widget.I. Yes. So with that, if I save it, now if I click phones, you see we have phones here. And if I select furniture, we have furniture here. So now we can detect what is the item that we are selecting, and that is the name that we can pass into feed screen. And then inside feed screen, we can run the filter logic to filter out the items that should be shown. And we will do that in the next lecture. To finalize category filtration, let us first get up with the feed screen that we have, copy it completely, and let's come to the inner screens folder and make a new file here. Call it categories underscore feed underscore screen.dart. Let's paste it here. And now let's just change this name. So I want the name to be categories feed screen. Copy it, paste it here, and let us change the name here too. This should be a const, by the way. Categories feed screen. Save it. Great. Now let's go to main.dart and let us also copy this much. Copy it and paste it here. Now change this to categories feed screen so that we can access the route name and pass the route argument. So save it. Get rid of the feed screen. Come to the category.dart. Now here where we last used this print statement, now let us have the navigator. So navigator dot of context dot push named, and for the named let us pass the category feed screen dot route name. Put a comma so that we can pass the arguments as well. Now to pass the arguments, I'd like to just copy this much that we have. So I'll copy from here until here because this is the argument that we want to pass. We do not need the print function anymore. So for the arguments, I'm just going to paste it with a comma. Great. Now let's go to the categories feed screen where we have this product provider logic, and above this let's make a new file, a new variable. So final cat list, or it should be cat name, equals to modal route dot of context dot settings dot arguments as string. So with this method here, with this logic here, statement here, what we are doing is we are accessing the route name that we are getting when we click the button here. Alright, now let's do a null check here. Alright, we're good now. Now you see here in this screen we are accessing the product list, and this is the entire product list, but I only want the product list that matches our category name. Now to have that logic, I could either write it here, but a better place would be to go to our product.dart where we have this provider class, and underneath it let's make another method. So list of product, because we will be getting products. So list of product and name it cat list, or should be get by cat name. And here we need to expect a string of cat name, because we need a category name, and then with that category name we will filter the entire list. Here we will have another list of product, and let's name it cat list equals to, what we want to do is access our products, these products here. So products dot where, and where is a method that we can use to filter through the entire list. After this we need a .toList. Now here we are accessing all the elements that are within the list. So here we can write element dot product category name dot to lowercase, because we want to get rid of the uppercase and lowercase thing, and this should be equals to the cat name that we are getting for this method. So cat name dot to lowercase. Now with that, let's come down here again, and we can finally return this entire list. So return me the cat list. So with that, if we go to category.dart, go up here where we have the logic, my bad, inside categories feed screen. Now for the product list, we do not want to access the entire products anymore. We want to get by cat name, and for the argument to pass, we are going to be passing this cat name here. So cat name, the cat name that we get from the click. So now if I save it, and if I come to phones, you see we are only accessing the phones, but we have some range error, because if you come here, we have a item count, and for the item count, we have set it to 20. But this should be our product list dot length. So with that, if I save it, we only have 3 phones to show. If I go to laptops, we have 4 laptops. If I go to clothes, we do not have any clothes, so nothing to show. For watches, we have a lot of watches to show, and hence you can see it here. For furniture, we have a lot of furniture, and hence a lot of furniture to show here. But for beauty or health, we do not have anything, and we do not have anything here as well. Now, one more thing. For the app bar, we are putting the feed screen here, but I would like to change it to be the cat name. So cat name dot to string. Alright, so if I save it and go to phones, we have phones here. So now we're going to be working with the popular brands that we have here. So we should be able to click into something and see the items that are related to its brand. Now, one thing, this is going to be very similar in the implementation case, like the categories filtration. With that being said, firstly, let's go to product.dart where we have our product provider. And firstly, we need a method to search by brand. And that should be very similar to this method here. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it here. Change the method name to be get by brand name instead of cat name. So it should be brand name. And here we should be getting the brand name. Now this brand name should also be used here. And instead of product category name, we will be using the brand. With that, we are done building the method that we need. Now let us go to the brand navigation rail.dart, this widget here where we have all these if conditions. Here, first of all, let us wrap it with a center, and then let us change the center to be a change notifier provider dot value. So change notifier provider dot value, and the value needs to be something dynamic. So here, first of all, let's make a final product data equals to provider of product provider context. Now final product brand should be our product data. So our product data, please come, product data dot get by the brand name, and the brand name is the name that we are getting here in the content space. So let's pass the brand. Now with that, we can copy this product brand, come here, and this should be at the index of each. Also for the item count, this should be our product brand dot length. Now we have to work in this brand navigation rail widget. So for the brand navigation rail widget, let us firstly make a provider class here. So final product attribute equals to provider dot of product context, and we can set the listen to be false. Now let us use this product attribute, copy it, and instead of this image URL we want our product image, so paste it, dot image URL, save it. And for Adidas we do not have anything, for Apple we have, so this is what you can see for Apple. Alright, for the price, let's get rid of this hard-coded text and let us bring the $sign here and pass the product attribute dot price. I'll just copy this much. What went wrong? Alright, now for the name, do the same and change it to be the title. And for the category, let's paste it here, and here let's make it product category name. Now with that, if we save it, we have it here. Great. So I can just come to H&M. We don't have H&M, we don't have Dell, we have Huawei, we have some Samsung, and that is it. So everything is coming dynamically here. To work with this popular product section, let us first go to our product.dart, and firstly let us make a new method, so list of product, because we'll be having a list of product, and this will be a getter. So get let's say popular products, and here I want to return our products list dot where, of course dot to list after this thing, and where element dot is popular. So wherever the element is popular, return it to me. Now we are going to be using it. So let's go to our home screen, and we have to wrap this popular product with a change notifier provider dot value, or you could go to inside this widget here and ask for dependency injection, but I'll go the notifier route. So first of all, here let us initiate two variables. So final product data equals to provider dot of products provider product provider context. So product provider context, and then let's make another variable, final popular product, and inside this variable we will be saving all the products that are popular. So product data dot popular products. Now let's use it. Come down where we have our popular product section, and firstly let us change this item count to be popular product dot length, and now let us wrap this with a center and change the center to be change notifier provider dot value, and for the value we'll be passing our popular product at index. So with that, let's save it, and now let us go to popular product.dart inside your widget folder and make here a new variable. So final product attribute equals to provider dot of product context. So now let us use this. So copy it where we have this image URL, paste it dot image URL, where we have this price here, so $sign with the third bracket product attribute dot price. Now I'm just going to copy this much so that we can use it down below, and instead of name here, paste it, use here title. Here we have description, and let's use description. Now save it, and this is what we have. Now we have a little bit of error here. To fix it, let us change this font size to be 18. Save it, and now we're good. So that was it for the popular product section. Up until now, whenever we were clicking onto to go to any detail page, for example, if I clicked onto something here, and this was the static detail page that we were getting. Now it's finally time that we show dynamic data here. To do so, firstly, let's go to product.dart, and what I want to do is for each of this detail screen, I want to get the data for those items by its ID, because ID is a very unique identifier, right? It's a identifier that is uniquely given to it. So this time this should be just one single product, and it should be get by ID, and where I'll be expecting a string ID, or should I say prod ID. So prod ID stands for product ID, where I want to return my product list dot first where element dot ID is equal to my prod ID, so the prod ID that it gets. Dot to list. Alright, let's just Ctrl Z to go back. First where and dot should be element dot ID equals to prod ID. Alright, yes. So with that, firstly, let's go to our popular product section. So popular product is inside our home screen down here. So if I click something, I want it to go to the detail screen. Now to do so, for our popular product section or the popular product widget, we have this clip R, inside of which you have this network. So wrap this clip R with center and change the center to be inkwell. On the inkwell, take the on tap, and for the on tap, give a navigator dot of context dot push named, and the named will be product detail screen dot route name. Also put a comma after this because we will be using the arguments, and for the arguments we have this product attribute here, so we will be using this product attribute. So product attribute dot ID. Now save it, and what I'll do is I'll use this in some other places. So just copy it, go to our feeds product, and in feeds product we have this as well. So feeds product is saying about this widget here, and instead of using this, let us paste the one from that place. I'll change this to be here. Alright, now copy this much again, go to brand navigation rail widget where you have this item here. So if I go to one item, we have Apple, and this thing has an inkwell. So here pass the same thing, get the product detail screen, save it, and we're good to go. Now we are passing the ID for each and every item to our product detail screen. So it's finally time that we work inside of the product detail screen. So for example, I have clicked this image here, right? And we have this static thing here. So for the product detail screen, let's start working. Firstly, we need a product ID, the ID that we are getting. So to get the ID, we will be using final product product ID, and the product ID will come from modal route dot of context dot settings dot arguments as string. Now to get the final item, so final product should come from our product provider dot get by ID, and inside ID I'll just pass the product ID that we're getting, so product ID. Now to use this, let's copy it, and first of all let us go down where we have this image, and instead of this let's paste our product dot image URL, save it, and we have it here. Great. Come down where we have this title and pass a $sign with this, so product dot title, paste it. Great. For the price I'll just copy this much, Control C, paste it here, and this should be the price. Great. Now for the description, where we have this brand and brand name, so here what I'll be doing is putting the same thing and pass the product dot brand, product dot quantity, here the category name, so product category name, and here I'll do a check. Here what I'll do is do a product dot is popular. If this is the case, I want to pass popular. If it's not the case, I want to pass barely. So save it. So as you can see, this item is popular, hence we are having this popular word here. If it wasn't, it would have said barely. Now I guess that is it. There is nothing more to do here. Do we have some reviews? I don't think we have some reviews. Alright, so one thing that I have missed in the last video was for our detail screen, I left the description unchanged. Please go ahead and add this product description into your product detail screen so that you have all the description for every product. Alright, now we want to work with our view all here. So whenever we click into view all, you see we have nothing here. That's because we haven't set any brand that is all. Now to tackle this, come to our brand navigation rail.dart, and where you have this content space, let us write a logic for all. So if brand equals to all, so what I want to do is I want a for loop. Alright, so for loop here, so let's write int I equals to 0. So for I equals to 0, I is less than our product data, so product data dot products dot length, so until I is less than this, and I should be incrementing, so I plus plus. Now product brand is a list of product where I want to add product data dot products at my index. So with that, now if I save it, we have all the items here. Let's work with the view all for the popular products here. Let's go to this place here where we have this popular products inside our home screen, and for the on pressed, let's set a navigator. So navigator dot off context dot push named. And for the named, I would like to pass our feed screen, so feed screen dot route name, and as an argument I'll pass a string of popular, just this popular. Now save it. Now inside feed screen, let's come back here and let's do something. What I'd like to do is get a final popular equals to modal route dot of context dot settings dot arguments as string. Now here let's make a if statement. If popular, if this variable popular is equal to popular, so if I actually get the argument here, so popular of model route, I want to show for the product list should equals to be product provider dot popular products. So this list here that we're using for the entire place, if we get this thing for our variable, I want to set this list as the popular product. So with that, let's save it. Let us also hot restart and come down. Let's view all and see we only have the popular items. Now one more thing for the home screen here, for the products feed screen.dart, we have this item count, and this item count should be product list, so product list dot length. Save it, and now the error is gone. Even if we come this way, let's do a hot restart. If we come this way, so this thing is giving us a null. So, where is it? This thing is giving us a null. So if this is not the case, I'll just set as nothing. So I'll pause the video. Alright, so I found the solution. The solution was we was using a string, right? We were using a string here, but this thing, if we are not going through this view all, and instead if we go through these feeds directly, this thing is not a string anymore, because this whole statement returns us a null, and null cannot be a string. What we could do is we could change this dot to string. So null to string is null as well. So with that, if I save it and hot restart, and if I go to feeds now, you see we have everything here. And also if we come down and go to view all, we have everything here.